From the campus of West Liberty University, just north of Wheeling it is, Metro News Talkline, Hoppy Kirchhoff with you. Sean Falkenstein, our producer, back in Morgantown. Ryan Guthrie, our producer, on site. Glad you're with us here for this very special show. We have 5 of the 6 Democratic candidates for governor in the state of West Virginia. Primary coming up May 14th. Early voting starts tomorrow in West Virginia, and then the election on the 14th. And when the polls close at 7:30, all the results right here at wvmetronews.com. So with us for the entire 2 hours, this is not a debate. We got the candidates here. We're going to talk to them, have a good back and forth, some give and take, and hopefully you can find out a little bit more about them and make your decision if you've not already done so for this primary election. Let me introduce who we have here today. Let me say who's not here. Earl Ray Tomlin, the acting governor. Invitation extended to him. We talked to them, and they said their schedule just did not permit, so he will not be with us at this gathering today. Well, let's talk about who we do have. We have Rick Thompson with us. Rick, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Hoppy. Good
House
to see you,
Speaker,
too.
he's here today. Natalie Tennant, Secretary of State. Natalie, good morning.
Good morning, Hoppy. It's good to be here.
Glad to have you here. Also with us, John Perdue, State Treasurer. Hi, John.
Good morning, Hoppy.
And Jeff Kessler, who's the acting Senate President. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning.
Good to have you here. And Arne Moltis out of South Charleston. Arne, how are you?
Good morning.
Thanks
Hoppy,
for coming by.
Very well.
Good. Let me start with a general philosophical question. I did this with the Republicans yesterday. You're running for the Democratic nomination for governor in the state of West Virginia. What does it mean to be a Democrat in West Virginia, and how do those principles apply to governing the state of West Virginia? Who wants to come back with another series
Well,
of
let me tell you what it's not. It's not the Supreme Court overruling in Putnam County that the commissioners were wrong. They could not override the original decision to put a toll road. Now, I was always against that toll road, and that's totally shocked me that the West Virginia Supreme Court said, well, you guys don't have the power, and they were elected. That's democracy to me. They were elected to make decisions. I think the Supreme Court should have stood behind the commissioners.
I mean, but I hear a theme here about what the government should do and democratic principles. Does that mean, and any of you can weigh in on this, does that mean that the government needs to do more? Because I hear you talking about the things that government should do. Does that mean a more expansive government? Does it mean a government that's more involved in the lives of individuals every day? Anybody? Arne, go ahead.
I think in my case, what I want to do is get back Amos Power Plant. And they're accusing me of being a socialist, but I want to give AEP, if they own it, I don't know if they own it or not, fair market value for AEP. Get it back and create West Virginia electric power, and then whatever we don't use.
Why would the state own, have the state own it?
The state, John Perdue would get the money for general funds.
So you want the wait, you want the state to own the private power plant?
I don't know who owns it at this time, but we're paying for the coal, we're paying for the
But you want the state to own it?
Yes.
Okay.
Going to stay there? Are they going to expand there? Are they, you know, what is the long-term plan for Macy's for the Eastern Panhandle?
I think it's a bad deal.
We have to decide.
Arne Moltis thinks it's a bad deal. Why?
Bad deal because the union workers weren't given a chance to work at Macy's. And Rick Thompson can verify that because he's, you know, he knows more about it, and he's with Earl Ray Thompson.
Rick Thompson, was it a bad deal?
Was the Mason?
Arne, was it a necessary deal or a bad deal?
I can see where John is coming from, and he is right. You know, thinking, well, we're losing $100 million, and that was kind of stupid. I can see where he's coming from. But I do have to say that it was a necessary deal because in Cross Lanes, that place is hiring a lot of people, and it's making a lot of money for the state, and it's money we need. So if we can help them in any way, I'd say go for it.
John
It was
Perdue,
not
the
only
argument,
necessary, though. It was not only and sends it to my law office where I can print. Technology is the key to overcoming our geographic
Arne Moltis, give me a 20-second thought, and we're going to take a break at the top of the hour.
I can get you hooked up tomorrow. It's all about the cost. We're trying to make it reasonable for the common person, but I can get it done. That's not a problem. There was an article in the paper of this company that tells us they can do it now. They can hook up anybody for the right price.
Sure. All right, I'll tell you what. We got a break. We're going to be back.
Equipped to do
Arne
the
Moltis, where's the money come from?
We have to get rid of AEP, the middleman, take over the Amos Power Plant. I'm planning to build another power plant.
We talked about taking over the Amos Power Plant already.
Between Wheeling, because everything is around it. we're losing $5 million a day on that plant because the electricity is being shipped out and sold, and we don't get anything. John doesn't get anything. Big John doesn't get anything.
Actually, you do. Correct me if I'm wrong. When this state sells surplus electricity, the money comes back into West Virginia and reduces your bill. Is that not correct, John Perdue?
Correct.
Not correct because...
No, it is. No, it is correct.
It's a Wall Street company.
Well, it's correct. The money that's...
It's a Wall Street company. And
I'm saying it's a fact, Arnie, that when this state sells, when companies in this state, and anybody here can correct me if I'm wrong, sells excess power, the money that it makes, which actually is down lately because there's not as much being sold, the money comes back to offset utility bills in West Virginia. Is that not correct?
That's correct.
Jeff Kessler, is that not correct?
That's correct.
Let's
talk. I want to talk
excess.
about the
They're
Public
not
Service
saying it's
Commission, but let's
excess.
stick
That's
to the
fine.
infrastructure of the
Let's
state
stick with
roads.
infrastructure.
Let's talk about these road problems. So what Jeff just...
That was the legislation you talked about that would have raised the DMV fees and would have raised $40 million a year, would have gone to highways, would have been something the contractors wanted, the highways wanted. Earl Ray Tomlin vetoed it and said, I'm not going to impose these fees on West Virginians. All right, so people can choose up sides here. Jeff Kessler, you would have signed that if you were governor.
Absolutely.
Arne Moltis, if you were governor, would you have signed that or vetoed that, raising the DMV fees with money going to highways?
Well, the reason the acting governor did it because he's in the campaign and he needs to look like a governor. But I'm not sure if I would have done what I would have done because we need the roads, but I think we need to get into export of electricity and make money, even if we have
Would you have signed the bill or vetoed the bill, do you think?
I'm not sure because that's a tricky one. We need, well, I probably would have vetoed
the bill.
vetoed it.
Okay, I'm just trying to get, John Perdue, what would...
Absolutely.
All right,
And-
Arne Moltis, do you have any thought on that?
Single member in the House.
Single-member
Speaker,
House districts.
Single member.
Single member.
But for the Senate, I'm for keeping what they have.
Okay. You know, Rick, the...
And they need to be treated like the professionals they are. And as governor, that's what I'll do.
And
Arnie?
that's what we're
I
doing.
have eight years of college, have a teaching degree, and I love school. I even attended Marshall a couple of years ago, took some classes. So I love the learning experience, but we need to focus on the children. For one thing, are they fed? Why are the parents, poor parents, being called and harassed because, wow, you owe money to us because you didn't pay your child's bill? If someone is poor, they shouldn't have to pay the school lunch bill. For example,
I don't think they do now.
But, you know,
Half the school kids in West Virginia are on the federal school lunch program, I think.
Right,
I'm
and
making
I
up that number.
support that 100%. I think the children should get all the help they need. For example, if a child is sick, there's a lot of parents that aren't on any type of insurance. And what I propose is doctor visits paid by the state for a child, for any family member that needs to see a doctor, because a lot of people don't have the $100 or more.
Does anybody here favor any form of teacher pay other than across-the-board pay?
Absolutely.
Jeff?
Yes.
Kessler? Arne Moltis, this is the softball you've been waiting for.
Now, my ideas are a little bit different. I'm working with PSC, who John doesn't like, but I'm talking with them to buy back the Amos power plant. What I think we need to do is cut out the middleman, AEP, and create our own power plants that we can sell electricity and give to John and the state. Then we'll have money for other things. Right now, we don't have any money for anything. But,
John Perdue, how can you do this?
Well, first of all, let's set this up.
Okay.
I held town hall meetings all over this state. I listened to the people. When utility rate bills, electric, gas, water, get more than your car payment and your house payment, and people are making choices out here, young people, whether they're going to pay their utility rates this month or pay their house payment or pay their car payment, we got a problem. We got a huge people problem in this state.
I want to thank you all. Great spirited discussion today. I appreciate it. Good job by each of you. Be safe out on the campaign trail. Rick Thompson, thank you. Natalie Tennant, John Perdue, Jeff Kessler, Arne Moltis, Acting Governor Earl Ray Tomlin, not with us today. And you can continue to follow the campaign on our website at wvmetronews.com. Complete election coverage the night of May 14th. Thank you all for coming by.